Hello, good people. I'm Dr. L. Brown.
And I'm Ricky too.
And today we're going to talk about making friends and making connections.
Friendship, being along with each other, hanging out with each other, best mates, best buds, best buddies. Mm-hmm. And also BFFs.
BFFs. We're going to talk about all that good stuff. Well, this video will be a little different because generally when I'm talking to you or we're talking about memories, we're talking about memories from distant past. Things that happened, years ago. So I've had an opportunity to...
Like back, like in like the early 2000s.
In like the early 2000s. But this is something that happened recently, like last week.
Yeah, like last week, somewhere in like April of 2020.
2021. So with that, we'll work through this. So when I'm able to talk to you about things that have happened in the past, I've processed them. I've come to some type of solution. I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm confident. Whereas this is something that we're going through right now. So,
right now.
So I'm a mom and I'm still having feelings about this.
True.
So as it relates to friends, when Ricky 2 was young, friends were really easy because his friends were an extension of my friendship. So I worked to make friends so that Ricky 2 would always have playmates. So
Playmates, playdates.
So his friends were essentially my friends' children. Yeah. Well, when he got to be about second grade. He
chooses his own friends.
Right. People started to choose their own friends.
Yeah.
And initially, friends are like really physical. It's like tag and
hide and go seek, soccer, baseball, basketball. Swing on swings, races.
Mm-hmm.
All
that type of physical stuff.
Physical games.
Right. However, when you get to become, a certain age, about 8, 9 years old, friendships start to become more cerebral. So
more cerebral.
You're choosing your friends based on mutual interests, that you think alike, you see the world the same. You're just kind of hanging out, chilling.
Think a lot.
You think alike.
Chill. And also just talk about each other and it's be on their phones.
Mm-hmm, be on their phones. So at that point, I then began to see a separation. So children that Ricky 2 had initially played with because, we got along as parents or it was something where they both enjoyed running.
And
and swinging and such.
Yeah.
Now people were pairing off with people who they could talk to easily. They had communicate with. They had things in common. They kept in contact.
Or maybe you can become friends if when they have good vibes that you like.
Right. Good vibes that you like. So with Ricky 2 not necessarily having interest in friendships, I really didn't press the issue. He was very comfortable from what I observed in his own skin, just doing his thing. Well, a week ago,
that's true.
You were going to Target in our neighborhood.
And I came back from Target. I saw 4, maybe 5 friends on bikes.
Okay, so let's talk about the type of neighborhood we live in.
Yeah.
So the type of neighborhood we live in, it's like a live, work, play environment. So a lot of people come to our neighborhood because it has a lot of popular eateries and stores.
Tours.
Like what he would call tours. So our neighborhood is kind of like an outdoor mall. So people come here to hang out. So the young men that he saw did not live in our neighborhood. They live, near our neighborhood. So that meant that they traveled to our neighborhood together.
Yeah.
So he sees them coming from Target and he gets really excited.
Really excited to meet them, to greet them. Mm-hmm. Right? I look back to see where they're going because I can tell the adrenaline. I was so excited.
Right.
Like they're going to the right sidewalk. I thought that they're going in one of the other stores, but I didn't want to go in them.
Okay. So what he does, because he's super excited, he then FaceTimes me. And he's like, Mom, guess what? I just saw such and such, and they were all on their bikes, and I said hi to them. This was so cool. I saw them, I've known them since elementary school, and they were there. They
almost like I'm big fans of them.
Yeah, so he was really pumped about seeing these kids. And so I was happy that he was happy.
If you're happy, I'm happy. If I'm happy, you're happy.
Boom, bang, pow, shebang. So in the space that he called me, he decided to come home. And right as he's getting to our building, he calls me again on FaceTime, and he was like, Mom, guess what? And I was like, what? He was like, I'm going to get my scooter, and I'm going to go down there where my friends are who I went to elementary school with, and I'm going to join them.
Exactly. And at first glance, you were going to say no, but you didn't want to spoil the excitement.
Right. So I didn't want to spoil the excitement, but the reason why my first mind was to say no, because in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, they are probably intimate friends who made plans to be with each other, and they didn't necessarily invite Ricky into that space.
I would say, here's what your brain's thinking. Here I can read your mind about. Man, I don't want Ricky 2 down there because those 5 friends already planned the idea to go examine this whole entire mosaic.
Yeah, and that was their plans, and they're entitled to make their plans.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking well, there's a chance they won't be down there when he gets there. So then my baby will get down there looking for these boys, and they're not there because they don't know that he's coming. And I was like, but I didn't want to quench his excitement. I felt like this was something that he needs to experience on his own. So you got your scooter.
Got my scooter.
You went down there, and what happened?
Went down. And I looked all around the block. I didn't want to go outside the perimeter of the mosaic because I was confused which way to go. But however, I looked in every single store, but I didn't see them.
So then he calls me, and when he calls me, he is disappointed, and I can hear it in his voice. I could see it in his face.
Hey, Mom, I didn't see the boys.
And he's asking things like, well, how far from the neighborhood can I go? And this and that. I said, well, Ricky too, why don't you can come home if you want to. And he wasn't really ready to come home. I said, well, you can hang out in the neighborhood for a little while longer with your scooter. I was like, but yeah, but I'm sure that the boys probably moved on with their plans because they were all together.
Exactly. Like I was saying with the boys, they have their own personality. They can be with me if they want to. They don't have to be with me.
Right. And so, and they're entitled to that. And they also didn't know. So then he was also disappointed in himself when he was talking to me, because he was like, I should have said something more than hi. I should have said, hey, can I get your number? Or hey, I'm going to go home.
Or hey, or can you please wait here? So
right. So now he's thinking about all the things that he could have done. And I'm realizing that this was a really big deal to Ricky too. So now he's disappointed, and I already feel everything that he feels tenfold. So now I have a lump in my throat, and I'm like a big ball of emotion, but I can't really do this now. Emotion,
almost like a big ball of sadness.
A big ball of sadness right now. So he comes home, and we sit on the couch, the same couch. Same couch. And I'm talking to my baby, and I'm trying to
you talk to me. Maybe like you're like saying, well, maybe the boys already planned their idea to actually hang out with them already. Mm-hmm. So maybe they didn't invite you. And if you want to become friends, all you have to do is make friends.
Right. So that's essentially the conversation that I'm having with him. And I'm trying to be strong through this because I'm sad because he appears to be sad. Well, as we're having this conversation, my phone rings, and it's my girlfriend. And
your girlfriend.
So my girlfriend is calling me because we generally go on walks every afternoon.
Every single afternoon.
So we were scheduled to go to a walk, and part of me didn't want to leave Ricky too, but Ricky too wanted to go to his room and just kind of be in his own space. So I decided to go for a walk with his friend. And the reason why it was really important for me to go to this walk with his friend, because this is not just any friend. This is she's a fellow Rattler. She's a Delta. She's my sorority sister and my classmate. So I've known her.
And my auntie.
And his auntie. So I've known her for 26 years. She's my sister friend. She's his auntie. She's our neighbor. And
she lives up and down the block.
Right. But most importantly, in this particular situation, on this particular day, Auntie Ureth has a PhD in special education.
Exactly.
And she works with middle grade children. So she works with people who are Ricky 2's age. So I'm like, I need to, 1, go somewhere so I can talk to my friend. And I need to, 2, talk to this person who's an expert in this area so she can help me navigate. Because one of the...
True. Like, help you navigate your emotions, your feelings, your career.
Yeah, well, my decisions, how to help you navigate as well. So with that, we go for a walk, and I have an opportunity to have my tears. And that's why it's important to have a village, because a top-notch village, because you really can't go through this by yourself. I need support.
It's hard going by yourself.
Right.
Because there's so many math equations. Like, I was saying... I'll say with like building a house, right? Mm-hmm. You can't build a house by yourself. Build like a big apartment by yourself. You must have multiple crew members to build a house by yourself.
It's boom. And so to raise a child, you can't do it by yourself. You have to have multiple crew members. Give it to me, Ricky 2. All right, look at you. You got to have multiple crew members.
Boom, bang, pow, shebang.
You got to have multiple crew members to help you. So the things that I'm good at, I do well, but there's things that I don't know that I have to seek out people in my top-notch village to help me. So Auntie Ureth, I was able to cry to her as a friend.
Like you're walking around crying?
I was walking around crying, yes. And I was able to ask her, like, what should I do?
And she was like, it's okay.
She's like, it's okay.
She's like supporting you.
She's supporting me, exactly. And so she says, well, I'll call the director of Best Buddies, which is a group that pairs neurotypical children and children with disabilities, so they can have these social engagements to, foster relationships. She's like, and you may want to reach out to the 100 Black Men, because they have organizations for young men to help them, develop social skills and to work with others. Now, with that, she helped me as my friend, but I still had to come home to work with you. So I still didn't know what to say to my child. Now, this is where the story gets really good, because it turns into a testimony. So we've been doing these videos for almost a month.
Yeah.
And I have friends on Facebook, some of whom I've never met before, that follow us and have been watching the videos. Well, I come home, and a couple days later, I get...
And also watch the live stream. There's a link in the description.
Okay, so I don't think we have a live stream, but you probably saw that on YouTube in time, maybe. Yeah. With that said,
no, I was talking about our live.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we did a live on IG, but we're gonna make sure we stay on topic. Okay. All right. So with that, I got a call from this mom, and I got a Facebook message from this mom who had been watching our videos.
That had a 16-year-old.
That has a 16-year-old. So this mom...
And surprisingly, he had autism too.
He has autism too. So this mom reached out to me, and she was like, essentially, Elle, I've been watching the videos. I'm having a moment right now. And so she was concerned about her son working through the same things that I happen to be concerned with my son.
I'll say, like, like almost like a back and forth conversation.
Right. So we're having a back and forth conversation. Two moms with sons. Actually, we haven't.
Two moms, two sons with the same problems almost.
Two moms, two sons.
Bang,
same.
boom, bang,
Pow, shebang. Two moms, two sons. Same problem. And our dilemma. And while we're talking as mom, I'm like, well, Ricky 2 is a pretty neat kid. Why don't we connect the two boys?
Connect two boys. So we had a Zoom call.
So they had a Zoom call. So this mom and this mom, two moms somewhere crying about the same thing, find each other via social media, and we connect the boys.
Yeah.
And they had a Zoom call. And the Zoom call went on for like an hour and a half, which is huge.
Hour and a half, which is 30 minutes long.
Which is an hour and 30 minutes long, yes. And they talked about, I guess, teenage boy stuff. I could tell they were having a good time because I could hear.
90 minutes long. 90 minutes. That's a long amount of time to get some friends.
That's a long amount of time, yes, to connect with a new friend. So, but the thing that made it just so great.
A friend's like a quick burst. Like it happens like 60 seconds.
Like happens, hey dude, how you doing? Yeah, I'm good. All right then.
Bye.
But
usually it was like, hey dude, what's up? And we just have like almost like a chat.
Yeah. So, but they had a chat. So the thing that made this even better is that when he emerged from his room, he was like, "We're going to meet again next week."
And that made you like really, really like shocked of excitement.
Yes, I was very excited.
Like I was like, he already planned it.
Right. You like, so he likes me and I like him and we're gonna
like usually like parents plan the time that they should meet up. But that was like the first time that I have ever planned a time to meet up.
See, now I'm about to cry. But yeah, so he made a plan, and it was one of those things that's what Eureka was telling me when we were walking. She was like, we just have to create situations where he can make plans and he can meet
people, have fun with people, experiment.
Right. And through these videos, that blessing occurred that my baby was able to have a Zoom call, make a new friend. And so that was two families that received a blessing. So
at least a good blessing.
A good blessing. So with that, I just want to tell you that you don't have to do this alone. And you don't have to know everything right away. There are people.
It takes time to do it.
It takes time to do it. And there are people who are going through similar journeys, just like you, feeling some of the same feelings that you're feeling as parents. And, find those people, connect with those people, and create opportunities for your child. So,
true.
These are tears of joy because my baby was really excited because he made a connection and he made plans.
Made plans, made decisions.
And made decisions. So, because I'm a big ball of emotions, I don't have anything else to say. Do you have anything else?
Nope. Nothing to say at all.
Nothing to say at all. We are good over here. We are working through some things and we got a top-notch village.
Yep.
And we want you to get a top-notch village. And we are part of your top-notch village. We're here for you. You are not alone. From our family to your family, you got this. And
make sure, don't plan out any friendships. Make sure your teenager plans out all the friendships.
Okay. You can create opportunities and then you let them take it from there. All right. Bye.